and courage. The role of women in today's world has changed significantly and for better. Women are now self-sufficient. Women are aware. They are financially independent. They have attained immense success in every field, such as sports, politics, military, engineering, etc. With the encouragement of a co-education, women are now matching side by side with the men counterparts in every walk of life. The 21st century has brought a new hope and has empowered women in a positive manner. If you're just tuning in, this is Women on Wheels here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name is Taiwo Baruwa. Welcome you to another edition of the show. And yes, this program is brought to you by Toyota Nigeria Limited, the sole distributor of the Toyota brand here in Nigeria. Tonight, I will be telling us about a woman that has made a huge impact in the world of the wheels. When I say the wheels, I mean the wheels right now. Okay, so in the past edition of the show, we have focused on women making an impact, women making giant strides across the board in different sectors. Women dominating in men's, world. My guest on today's edition of the show isn't going to be any different because she has made impact in this, in her chosen career also. I have an automobile engineer joining me on the phone tonight. Olatokunbo Adegoju is my guest on today's edition of Women on Wheels.
Just mechanics. It is about the freedom to express oneself. The driver's seat may seem insignificant, but it holds the power to redefine history. Our new program called Women on Wheels, WOW, is focused on every aspect of transportation with women at the wheels. WOW seeks to inspire and motivate you on responsible driving, inform you on the regulations and etiquette in all transportation sectors, educate and expose you to the business side of the wheels industry, and also share the history of wheels with you, our dear listener. Wow! Wow, wow! Live on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. with Baruwa Taiwo.
This show is proudly powered by Toyota Nigeria Limited.
Stay tuned.
right, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Women on Wheels here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Quickly, let's tell you what the roads are looking like before we get down to business. Tonight, we have been tracking some areas, and so far, we do not have any major breakdown. Okay, so for those of you using Ikurudu Road, you would have to slow down intermittently, around areas like Ojota, for pedestrian crossing and commercial bus activities. You have to slow down again, connecting Tipa inward Demoring. You also have Mile 12, Wode Lady and Wode Onere to contend with. Beyond that point, it gets a lot better until you start approaching Ogolonto again due to alternation. All right, I said earlier that my guest on the show is not new to the microphone. Okay, she is an automobile engineer. Tokumbo Adegoju is my guest. Good morning, good evening, Tokumbo.
Good evening, Taiwo.
We're used to saying good morning, right? Maybe we should just stick to morning. We should just go the uniformed men route now and say morning, right?
Morning.
How are you, Tokumbo? Good evening to you.
I'm doing well. Good evening.
All right, then. So let's get down to business. Aside the Tokumbo Adegoju that we get to listen to almost every morning, talking automobile. Who is Tokumbo in the automobile world?
Okay. Well, Tokumbo in the automobile world is a trainer, a mechanic. Most persons would also say that, she's a diagnostician. So I call myself a mechanic because basically almost anything a mechanic can do, I can do. And aside the person that talks on radio every morning, that most persons know, I still get dirty. I get to fix cars.
Really?
I do basically most things mechanics do. So I call myself a mechanic, not really a radio mechanic per se.
Because when you say you get dirty, because I am just thinking in this part of the world, we can be, we can segregate. We look at people. Oh, it's a mechanic. No, this and that. Tell me, how did it even start for you? How did this journey start for you?
Okay. It started with myself and my husband driving somewhere. I really don't know where we're going. Then we listened to traffic radio,
okay,
and we heard somebody talking about cars, sincerely. So I think then it was Ayo that was running the show herself with LJ then,
okay,
from Automatic.
Okay.
So while listening, the next thing my husband said was, "Kumbo, you can do this thing now. I know you're very handy. Why not go for the training?" I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I wasn't too sure if I was going to be interested, but because he believed in me, I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And that was how I arranged for the training, I think in 2017.
Okay.
After the training, I started to work with other medics, and till date, I would see myself to be somebody that I'm still learning, though, but at least I've been able to make a name for myself in the automobile world when it comes to repairs.
In the automobile world, it appears to be something of pride, being a woman excelling in the male-dominated industry. But then, let's now turn the table around in the midst of the female folks now. How do you feel?
Well, okay, what do you mean in the midst of the female folk?
In the midst of ladies.
Are you talking about female mechanics? Or
in the midst of ladies generally.
Okay, ladies generally. Well, there are times I feel like, oh God, am I really still a lady? Because I find myself doing things that I see, most people see it weird, but I just see it as the normal. That's the truth.
Things like what? Things like
okay.
what?
Well, let me say, for instance, there are places you find me skill. When I mean skill, I jump over it, and everybody will look like, why did you just do that? I said, well, it's not high. And most times, I do these things out of the fact that, okay, it's what we do in the workshop. Because I mix with so many guys and I just do whatever they do and it's already a part of me. And so everybody just see me as weird, but really, I don't think it is. I just feel maybe because of the way the guys I roll with. But one thing that I see myself that I really am not, it's not really like I'm not happy about it. There are some things many other females are able to do, but because of the nature of my job, I'm not able to do it. I think I mentioned that to Delia Gadimo. Okay, was it Delia Gadimo or Runke? I remember saying that, I fix my nails once in a year. That's when the company goes on break.
Okay.
That will be maybe 2 weeks in December. And I did that last December. Then somebody called me for a lubrication service. I had to remove all of those nails, and I was like, oh no, why?
Wow.
Let me just run this thing for this 1 week. Well, so those are some of the things that I really want to do as a lady, but I don't get a chance to do that because of the nature of my job.
Okay, so tell me, your husband actually, spurred you into doing this. Let me start with what you studied as an undergraduate. What did you study?
I didn't get that.
What did you study as an undergraduate?
Okay, I did study agricultural engineering.
Agricultural engineering. Now digressing into automobile. How did your parents take it?
Well, it's almost similar though, because we still deal with machines, though we deal with farm machines. Well, I would say that those ones are more of heavy duty, and I really never liked it though.
Okay.
But now that I'm into automobile, I think I could really still do anything when it comes to farm machines or heavy duty repairs. But how did my parents take it?
Yes.
Well, I will tell you that the first tools I got as an automobile technician were bought by my dad, even though I was married.
Amazing.
When I called and I was like, oh, Daddy, I'm training as a automobile technician.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, really? I said, yes. So I will need overalls and I will need some tools. The reason why I actually told him was because he is a marine engineer.
Okay.
To have a number of overalls, I used to see it at home. And he was like, okay, I'll get you one. And the next day or 2 days later, I came with overall and some basic tools for me. So I got the support from my family as well.
Aside from the ladylike stuff you would love to do ordinarily that you don't get to do because of the nature of your job, are there other challenges that comes with being an automobile engineer?
Yes, there are. As a female, now most persons would say, or most females would say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. Not in the automobile world, sincerely.
Tell me about it.
Yes, not when it comes to automobile, you don't say that.
Can you explain further?
The reason is that there are times that you will need the male folks to help you when it comes to some heavy lifting, and even some components when you want to take them out.
Okay.
They might be so difficult to take out that you will need a male to help you to take it out.
Okay.
So that alone, I would say that's one of the challenges, because our job requires that you do a lot of heavy lifting.
Sure. And
so it can really tell a lot on the females when it comes to those liftings. But automobile is not just about the mechanical aspect. We also have the electrical and the diagnosis, and which most of us we try as much as to focus more on that, so we don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting, which will require you carrying an engine or having to lift some heavy components. So I think those are some of the challenges, because we would have a lot of we have a lot of, would I say a setback? I wouldn't say that's a setback, but it doesn't make it easy for us to do jobs on our own, because if there is no guy there or no male personality there to help when it comes to components like that, it might be difficult for us to carry out jobs like that, and that will make us look like, oh, they can't do it. But it's not like they can't do it, it's just because it's too heavy.
So it's safe to say that in the automobile world, it might be difficult for a woman to, excel outrightly.
Well, I would say it might be difficult for a woman to excel outrightly. I would say that if you have the right tools in place, it will be easy for a woman to excel. What I mean is that when it comes to those heavy lifting, there are a lot of tools that make things easier. But it's not every of those tools we get access to in this part of this world. That's why it's really going to be a bit of a challenge.
All right, Lagos, you're listening to Women on Wheels here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Tonight, we're delving into the automobile world. My guest is not a fresher to the microphone. She is none other than Adetokunbo Adegoju. Tokunbo, let's talk about how the journey has been for you since you started your relationship with clients and male counterparts.
Well, no, I wouldn't say the journey it hasn't been difficult. I think it has even been smooth. I see that most persons, when they hear you're a female mechanic, they have this interest in you, and they want to see what you can do.
Okay.
So they try to always give you a task. Okay. So you're a mechanic. Well, come and check my vehicle. I want to change this. Come and take a look at it.
Okay.
So it really makes it you to get to meet more persons and to relate with people the more. And once you are able to do it, people tend to gain confidence in you, and that gives you a leverage. So when it comes to my relationship with clients and the male folks, I think it has been a smooth journey. It has not been difficult. I would say the only challenge I would have is trying to marry my job to my home. And you know that as a married woman, I would need to try to make the home front work, at the same time make the job front work.
Absolutely.
So that would be the only challenge I have, because at times it can always be very stressful. At the end of the day, I would knock out completely. And so I would say that has been the only challenge I have during the journey that I've been in.
Tokunbo, hold your thoughts. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Andrew on the line.
All right, Andrew, good evening.
Let me greet. Good morning.
Good evening, Andrew.
Good morning. What are the codes you got? Let me do your work for you. I've been listening to you from letter A as you were talking. I was emotionally moved. Okay, I will tell my daughter to go and learn mechanical engineering.
Just look at that.
You see, God has destined you to do that. I think so. And I believe so. The reason why I said so, you said you did agriculture engineering.
Yes.
And you were moving, your one is into LJ and code, and she now said, you can do this. Yes, because you are resilient. You have that tenacity. I've been listening to you most of the time when Mr. Kunle is not there and the other people. It's not really difficult. Like the things you said, the tools, there are some tools, make things male we want to do and so on. I know you are able. You are able. And God that has seen you started it, will finish it.
Amen.
Will stand by you. Because there are others out there. I know there was one person, I wouldn't mention him, that started, but out of, I can't continue left. You may know the person. But it's not easy as a woman. It's not easy as a woman.
Thank you.
As a married person. But God is your strength. God is your strength.
Thank you so much, Andrew. We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you. All right, Lagos, you're still listening to Women on Wheels here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Tokumbo Adegoju is my guest. This program actually focuses on the giant strides of women in excelling across board. And, I dare say Tokumbo has been breaking barriers. I mean, for how many years now, Tokumbo?
It's going to be 8 years.
8 years, amazing. Yes. So we're celebrating a decade in about 2 years, which is going to be, perhaps Andrew would actually sponsor that. Okay, let me. We're running out of time, Tokumbo, but I would like you to answer one or two questions before we wrap things up tonight.
Okay.
Let's talk about the automobile engineering industry. Do you have role models?
Well, when it comes to automobile engineering industry, in this part of the world, in Nigeria, I would say that my role model is Engineer Kuleshun, because I would say he actually led me in this part of automobile broadcasting. Let me put it that way. Like a friend used to say that I'm a broadcaster mechanic. That's the way the person says. So I would say he is my mentor, and I have always emulated him, and he has really been the person that has made it easy. He has made the journey easy. And he used to say that he has soft spots for women, so that whenever he sees a woman in this business, he would always want to help and make sure the person excels. And I think because of that, he has really given me he has made me see the light, and he made me see it early. Let me not say, because I would say the first time I resumed for training. I resumed on a Monday for training. The next day, he took me into the studio and was like, okay, I want to introduce my new trainee. I was running from the mic, practically running from the mic. It was Tumishi then, and she was like, oh, come closer. Tell us your name. Let us know what you said. And today, look at me today. Yeah. So I would always say he's my mentor, and he has really helped me and guided me when it comes to this journey.
Have you met women in the course of your sojourn into the automobile industry? Have you met women?
Well,
I'm not talking about those who drive. We know the ones that drive tricycle cars and all of that. Have you met women fixing cars?
Yes, I have met a number of women when it comes to fixing cars, but most of them I see them as colleagues. I've not really met with anybody that has been in the business before I got into the business.
Really?
For Ayo, and basically I still see Ayo as a colleague.
Okay.
And so that's really why I don't think I've really met women like. Maybe we will have a gathering of female mechanics. I know one day.
I was actually coming to that. Do you think? Do you think you guys? You ladies would get to the point of manning a workshop all by yourself without the support of a man? Do you think it's possible?
Yes, we can do that. It's possible. It is possible.
All right, Adetokunbo, before I let you go on the show, let's talk about one major thing, that thing that intimidates you being an automobile engineer, that thing that makes you feel, that has made you feel lesser, of a woman in the course of your career.
I didn't get that. I really didn't get that.
So, in the course of this career of being in the automobile industry, has there been any situation that has made you feel, it's not your fault. It's because you are seeing me in an overall or in a mechanic workshop. Let's just put it that way. Have you ever experienced that kind of scenario?
Well, I think I have. I think I have. I think you're talking about having maybe embarrassing moments or something.
Absolutely.
Of such, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would say I have.
In 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds. I remember I was asked to come into the studio, and I was asked a question, and when I gave the answer to the question, the person that was with me was just like, no, that's wrong. She that said that. I was like, oh God, on the live studio. And since that day, the question has always been ringing, and the answer I gave has always been ringing on my head. And I think that was the most embarrassing moment I've had so far in this journey.
On this job, what would be your pattern short to our listeners, to women, to men alike, okay, perhaps who have kids, who have girl child out there like Andrew, who would want their daughters to actually study mechanical engineer to emulate you? What would be your advice to them?
Well, my advice will be that the person should focus, they should pursue their dream, and they should not let anything or anyone tell them they can't do it. Because once you believe you can do it, you won't get anywhere. But once you have a faith that, okay, no matter how difficult it is,
yes,
I will get through with it.
Absolutely.
Then I believe you can achieve anything, even if you are a woman in a male-dominated environment.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Adetokunbo Adeguji. It's been a wonderful time talking to you on Women on Wheels tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, then. This is where we wrap things up on today's edition of the show. If you're wondering who I have been speaking with, Tokunbo Adeguji has been my guest. She is an automobile engineer. And yes, we've had a robust conversation tonight. Make it a date with us next week for another insightful conversation on Women on Wheels. My name is Taiwo Baruwa. This program has been brought to you by Toyota Nigeria Limited, and it has been produced by Ajose Adewale, Idowa Diemi, and Fomilade Akingbagbo. Maximum thanks to Oluremi Aluko, Victor Terry. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonli. Do have a great evening.
We are the dial that helps you navigate through Lagos traffic with ease. We are the 96.1 dial, Lagos Traffic Radio.